What is going on, guys? Thank you so much for coming out to this show. This is the Friday night subcast. Yes, we are back. We are back, and we're back better than before. So we are going to be doing a little things. No. There we go. Okay, somehow the stream was on unlisted again. Let me know out there if you guys can hear me. Can you guys hear me? What's up, the Lone Gamer? How's everybody doing? I had it on unlisted, so I'm not sure if I'm actually streaming to the public. It says it's public now, but I'm not sure if it really is. And I just had it, I just changed it to public, and it changed itself back to unlisted. So, okay. I'm going to start over. Lex, what's up, buddy? Can you guys hear me? Or see me? Am I even in reality? All good, says the Lone Gamer. Okay, all right. Just when I was about ready to restart the stream again. Can hear you loud and clear, says Joshua. What's up, Joshua? How you doing, buddy? Guys, today we got an interesting show for you. As you can see, the stream that we're going to be doing tonight, this is the Friday night subcast. If it's your first time coming across this is a podcast that we do. This channel is normally focused on gameplay, podcasting, and development updates on ambitious games and development. Right now, I am knee-deep, knuckles deep in Star Citizen because I am just in love with this game so much. It is one of the most ambitious games I've ever seen grace our presence. Let me go ahead and get... There we go. What's up, guys? So, Fridays we have a live podcast where people get to call into the show. Normally, they're kind of hectic, right? We're going to do things a little bit different this time. If you want to get in the show, go into the room that's voice room in our Discord that is titled Atlas 102.5 FM. And I will pull you into the room that we are in, so that way you can have your... We're going to take one caller at a time to keep things nice and smooth, nice and clean. 3.9 coming soon, says the Lone Gamer. 100% right, buddy. I can't wait. I cannot wait. So if you'd like to get in the show, just let me know. Get in the Atlas 102.5 FM room. We've changed some things in our Discord. People without a certain level cannot get into a voice room. If that is the case with you, message me on Discord. I will be checking my messages like every 10 to 15 minutes. If you cannot get into the voice room, just message me and I can fix that, okay? Also, and the reason why, yes, the room is locked, and it's because people came on the stream shouting the N-word, and I don't want that to happen again. So I'm going to control it. Everybody can still get on the show today, but I just want to have more control to kind of stop something like that from ever happening again. At least make as much effort as I can make to not let something like that ever happen again, as much as I can control it. So that's that. If you want to get in, Atlas 102.5 FM, and if you cannot get into the voice room, message me on Discord. I'll be checking it every 5 to 10 minutes, or 10 to 15 minutes, and giving you guys permission for to get into the room, to get into the voice room. We've got an interesting show tonight. We have Moist Noodle is going to be joining us on the show. Moist Noodle is a streamer who likes to focus on PvP. He likes to focus... Oh my God, Robert Ransom, where have you been? Robert Ransom's one of my favorite people, and he is... Hey, lost my job because of it.
Lost my job because of a ticket, had to find a new one, only took a week and I make more money.
That is awesome, Robert. I'm glad things turned out for you, buddy. Haven't seen you around in a while, man. I've been worried about you. I've been thinking about you. It's good to see you. Really good to see you. Thank you very much. They were banned from my Discord server, iCat. But other than that, I don't know what happened to them. Alright, so Moist Noodle is a PvP streamer. He focuses on PvP. He likes to pirate. He likes to... A lot of people call Moist Noodle a griefer, and that is one of the subjects we're going to be talking about tonight. What is a griefer? We are playing an MMO. An MMO is PvE, PvP. It's all that stuff. And one of the biggest topics I want to really talk about tonight is stream sniping. Now, you might be surprised about my stance when it comes to stream sniping. Sorry. What's up, Adnan K? How you doing, buddy? I don't mind stream sniping. It makes things interesting. It makes things exciting. And it's definitely not something that I think CIG should be involved in when it comes to reporting a stream sniper and banning that person. I don't agree with that. Stream sniping is stream sniping. Somebody's going to kill you. You know, how do you know it's a stream sniper and not someone just randomly trying to PvP somebody? That's just bad to me. I think it's worse than... it's bad. It's bad. So we'll talk about that a little bit more. And I want to open up the discussion. What is griefing? Is it pad ramming? Or is it just kill on sight? Because I don't think kill on sight is griefing. I don't think killing somebody who's trading if somebody kills me and I lose 100,000 UEC on a trade run, if Moist Noodle came and killed me on my stream and I lost 100,000, I don't consider that griefing, and I don't consider that, you know, and I do consider that stream sniping, but I don't think it's a bad thing that he stream sniped me, right? That's just my stance on it, and I would like to hear what your stance on stream sniping is. I say it should be allowed, and it's definitely something that, it's not something that CIG should be getting involved in when it comes to stream sniping. Saying bad words in the global chat, yeah, I think CIG should step in. Saying bad things over the in-game comms, you know, bad things. I say bad things. I think you guys know what what would constitute as something really bad, right? Then maybe they should get involved in something considering stuff like that. But stream sniping, PvP, kill on sight, making somebody lose 100,000 UEC. I don't think this is an MMO. It's about PvP. I don't think CIG should get involved in that. So we're going to get into the call here. We have Moist Noodle who's going to be talking about this. We've got Jerron who's going to be on the call as well, and we're going to be discussing their shows, their Twitch shows, their streams, things like that, what they do, what their opinion is, and then after we get a little bit of talking going on, then we're going to start taking callers and get your opinion on how you feel about these subjects that we talk about. And it's okay if you guys feel differently than me. You guys don't have to agree with me, and I don't have to agree with you guys. That's just, you know, these are opinions. Maybe you think that not pad rammers, but maybe you think that stream snipers should be banned. I don't think so. And that's coming from a streamer. That's coming from somebody who is going to be stream sniped. I have been stream sniped, and I say bring it on. I'm not streaming on Twitch. Oh, I'm not. Whoops. Please restart your progress to apply changes. Oh, well, we're not streaming on Twitch. That stinks. Okay, well, whoops. We will be later. We will be later. We're gonna be doing. We're gonna be playing the game later over there on Twitch. Live gameplay is something that we keep over on Twitch. Edited content is what we keep here on YouTube. Sometimes you will see live gameplay here on YouTube when something exciting happens that I really. Oh my gosh, Colin, thank you so much for subscribing, buddy. When there's something that happens on Twitch that I really want you guys to see, that is amazing. You're not going to miss it because I'm going to edit it and upload it as a clean edited video for you guys to see. Other than that, live gameplay, in my opinion, belongs on Twitch because sometimes it could be boring. Sometimes we're waiting in a party menu. Here is the Twitch channel if you guys would like to follow over there. I stream every Tuesday through Friday on Twitch from 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time to 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. What time are you guys going to be playing? We usually do about a 2-hour show, so it's about 11 o'clock. We've got Mystic Star Citizen over there on Twitch subscribing, or following. Thank you so much. I really do appreciate that. Thank you. It's a new channel-ish, and we've got Hex Awareness Team subscribing here on YouTube. Thank you so much, buddy. So let's real quick set up the discussion that we're going to be talking about here, and this is going to be about a post that I just recently read. Actually, a CIG developer, not a developer, but a member of the team, turned me on to this article here, or this post over on Spectrum. Now it says excessive griefing and stream sniping. We're going to get the backstory to this from Moist Noodle. But it says, hi everyone, we've recently received a lot of reports detailing excessive griefing, which I don't know what that is exactly, and would like to take a moment to openly address the feedback and share our stance. For a majority of these matters, PvP solution is preferable. Now listen to what he says there. For the majority of these matters, if he hits you, hit him back, right? If he spits on you, spit on him back. Eye for an eye. Go kill him. Get a new ship. Go kill him. Claim your ship. Expedite it. Go kill him. Grab some of your friends. If you don't have any friends, my Discord is open to the public, which means there's a link down below, and if you have problem with people, you can enlist us for free, no UEC exchange, just a thank you. You don't even have to thank us half the time. You know how many manzels in distress I've had to give rides? Yeah, tons, and they didn't thank me. You don't even have to thank us. We just want the blood. So if you have anybody that's bothering you, enlist us. Give us something to do. We're a bunch of bounty hunters that turn evil when there's no one to hunt. So keep us from stealing people's ships, and give us somebody to avenge you over. Frequently, when these scenarios are reported to us, we encourage those who feel they are being targeted to rally with their friends and orgs in an attempt to fight back. That's right. Use the Cobra Force. We are there for you. We're not here to protect players from aggressors, pirates, and PvPers. That's good news. A big part of Star Citizen is about that dichotomy, that epic clash that occurs when opposing forces meet and rally others to their cause. We've done that before. The wars at Jumptown were a prime example of exciting emergent gameplay that can blossom when a lawful player comes face to face with an outlaw. Now, they're sitting there bragging about how cool Jumptown was, and that confuses me, because if it was cool, how come we don't have that now? I don't know. However, there is a line that is occasionally crossed where players are going outside the bounds of immersing themselves as a pirate PvPer. Some users are going out of their way to leverage live streams and other mediums. Now, to excessively grief. Now, I don't understand this. As a streamer, I don't mind people who try to stream snipe me. Is it embarrassing if I die on my live stream? Yes, it is super embarrassing. Do I get mad? Yes. Do I feel salty? Yes. Do I want to punch my desk? Yes. Do I want to take the stuffed animal behind me and rip its freaking head off? Yes. But that doesn't mean that I think that CIG should ban that person. Now, it does say excessively. I don't know what that means. I don't think I've ever been a victim of excessive stream sniping. I don't know what that is. I guess that is, I can't imagine a scenario where a stream sniper would be able to get away with killing me more than a few times or stopping me from being able to stream. Now, I do have a lot of Cobras that do play with me on stream, so I am very lucky that we would be able to get our shit together and rally against this person eventually, right? And we've done that before. But I say to you, to all the people that don't have an org, don't have a whole lot of friends on your friends list, my Discord and my org is there for you. You want someone to help you against a PvPer? We will. We're there for you. A stream sniper, we're there for you. Is Moist Noodle bothering you? One of us won't be able to take him out, but 30 of us will. Guarantee you that. In many of these cases, it's no longer about enjoying the game, but rather disrupting it. Stream sniping, pad ramming, firing into armistice zones, or utilizing various exploits to grief others. There's just a few examples of excessive griefing, which we do not tolerate. If you find yourself on the receiving end of this, we are more than happy to investigate, and in cases where it's warranted, we will absolutely intervene. Simply reach out to us through our support page here, and make sure to provide as much information as possible. Screenshots, videos always help. In addition to better monitoring, preventing excessive griefing, we are also exploring a number of in-game changes that should help considerably. More info on that at a later time. And of course, in the future, the law system will also play a stronger role in creating consequences for unlawful behavior. In the meantime, and all the time, take the sage advice of two wise individuals who once posted that we should all be excellent to each other and party on whenever possible. Bill and Ted, right? So let's back up here for a second. Let me take a look at the chat. See what everybody's saying. I'm a little worried. All right. We're going to get down here with Moist Noodle here pretty soon. Okay, we've got oh, Streamlabs just did a thing. Thank you, Streamlabs. And Thangos? Was that Thangos? That was Thanos. Thank you, buddy. I appreciate that, man. Artifacts of Exile. Of course I remember you, buddy. Of course I remember you. Let's get into the conversation. I want to hear from you guys. So I want you to call into the show, and I want you to tell me what your opinion is. What is excessive? What do they mean by excessive? I know what they could mean by excessive pad ramming. I think that the prison system, the law system, the bounty system, putting 10,000. I think they should raise the bounties to like maybe 10,000 for level. Start at 10,000. And then when it gets to crime stat level 3, it's 15,000. Then when it's 4, it raises up to 20, and then when it's 5, it's a 30,000 UEC bounty. Make it really make people salivate over getting that UEC. I think that they're creating a way that the game is going to help police situations like this, and we are going to be policing situations like this. Even if you're not a bounty hunter, I think that we could all rally together in a server to get rid of somebody doing something wrong. Okay, so let's get into the call. I'm really excited to get to talking to Moist Noodle. I've ran my mouth quite a bit here, so let me go ahead and get into the room here. We got
once
Moist
they
Noodle.
try to bring some of oh, here comes Cobra. Yep,
What's up, guys? How you doing, Moist Noodle?
I'm good, thank you. How you doing?
Jiran. Okay, guys, we got Moist Noodle and Jiran here, and in a few minutes, once we get to talking, I'm going to give you the links to all their stuff, so that way you can follow them. Moist Noodle has a very, very good Twitch show, and so does Jiran. I enjoy Moist Noodle. Learn a lot from Moist Noodle. I've learned a lot in the last couple of days watching him play than I have ever since I started playing in September. Moist, let me start with you, since this topic really hits close to home with you. first of all, tell everybody who you are and what you do.
So my name is Moist Noodle. I've been playing Star Citizen since 2014, and I am primarily a Star Citizen PvP streamer. I'm part of an organization called Shadow Moses, which we're kind of known within the community, not overly popular because we tend to engage in a lot of non-consensual PvP. But yeah, I spend a lot of my time when I'm streaming teaching people how to PvP, and even to people who don't necessarily or aren't necessarily interested in PvP. I enjoy teaching people how to survive PvP encounters when you go up against people like Shadow Moses and other PvP organizations.
Okay, all right. So you do a lot of teaching people how to not. So you're griefing. So they say you're grieving, but you're going off and you're doing unconsensual PvP, right?
Yeah.
And
yeah.
But at the same time,
that's a good discussion right there of that definition.
Right.
Exactly.
But at the same time, you're also teaching people also how to stop somebody like you.
Yes. Because at the end of the day, it's the PvP community. Over time, it feels like it's gotten a lot smaller in the community. I think it's because there are a lot of PvP mechanics that have kind of fallen to the wayside. I'm sure we'll see them come back into the game, but PvP isn't in a great place right now. For example, in 3.8, part of the new physics refactor has caused a huge amount of desync on the servers, which is almost a killer for PvP, really. But yeah, it's in my interest to try and encourage as many people really to get into PvP, because for me, that's more targets to shoot at. Yeah, and it's been fantastic, actually. I'd say over the last few months, we've definitely seen a lot more people engaging actively in PvP on the PU. So yeah, it's been great.
Okay. Yeah, ever since this post I want to really do a deep dive with you on. There for a while there was nothing but chaos support all this are. It was fun.
Oh yeah,
fun.
Yeah.
We loaded in, man, and me and Stuffenberg, we were at a ship. I was a bounty, and I think we survived through like 12 different players coming after us. 12 different ships coming after us, and all due to him. Right? I'm in the turret. I'm taking my bot shots at people, but he's the one flying and doing all this great piloting. But it was a blast. I had so much fun. And when you're a bounty, you could become a bounty over something stupid. Like, I accidentally ran into a freelancer, and it blew up. I don't know how it destroyed so easy, but I was in a Cutlass Black, and it just blew up, right? And I got a bounty for that. It was a complete accident. And I even said, "Oh my God, I'm so sorry." And I became a bounty. So you know how many people fly like a noob like me? Probably not many, but there are people out there. And somebody like that can be a bounty. And when somebody else who's not a PvPer, they're like, "Hey, look, I'm going to take out this criminal." All of a sudden, isn't that unconsensual PvP as well? I mean, taking a bounty. So
well, believe it or not, I don't bounty hunt that frequently, but I have run into situations where I've killed people while I've been bounty hunting, and they've accused me of being a griefer.
Really?
Despite it being within the game mechanics. And this is, as Joran mentioned earlier, unfortunately, and this is why I think this post from CIG, or specifically Xylo, has been so important this week. A post like this is something that a lot of PvPers have been asking for quite a long time. Although it seems like a very anti-PvP post, it's actually not. And the reason for me is because a lot of us have been asking for quite a long time for a post that gives us some sort of clarity as to what is griefing. Now, this doesn't necessarily go in depth as to what CIG sees as being griefing. And I do genuinely think I'd like some more clarity on that, but from a standpoint where people are accusing me of griefing just because I'm engaging in PvP when somebody doesn't want me to be, it would be nice to have a post where I can point people to and go, well, you think I'm a griefing, but this is what CIG considers to be griefing. If you look at other games like World of Warcraft or Elite Dangerous, they have policies as to what they consider to be griefing, whereas CIG doesn't have that.
I agree that I think it would be good if they had a little bit more clarification. This was a big step for them to take to even say something about this.
Absolutely.
And it's been a very controversial topic in the community because you have the heavy PvPers, and currently there's a lot of frustration there because it's not in a good state, and there's no central area where people are being drawn to and to engage in good PvP and be able to enjoy what they love. Mm-hmm. And so there's a lot of chaos around Port Olisar, and that affects a lot of people that are just running cargo, or noobs that don't know what's going on, and they spawn at Port Olisar, and their poor little Aurora gets rammed by a hammerhead. And I've had a very enlightening story arc when it comes to what non-consensual PvP and griefing is, because I essentially represent a very large Care Bear community, and Care Bears and griefing and non-consensual PvP are very interesting definitions that have very strong feelings on both sides. And I fully admit that I was a Care Bear at one time, and I used to get so bent out of shape if I was just going about my business and somebody would just take me out, and like, what the hell? I'm over here just trying to run cargo, and people are just wiping people out for seemingly no reason. But in having a lot of friends that are on the combat side, and understanding more about the other side of non-consensual PvP, I've come to learn that it's a very, very broad spectrum of behaviors, of intent, and outcomes. And I think one of the problems is that most people aren't aware of what spurred this particular post. And the specific incident, there's two primary things that are occurring and have occurred. The pad ramming, I don't think anybody disagrees that pad ramming is griefing. If people are taking a hammerhead and just smashing every ship at Olisar, do we all agree that that's griefing?
It's griefing now without a real way to combat it. If there was a real way to combat it or something in place to assist, then I would not consider it griefing.
I agree.
I would agree with that as well. The stream sniping specifically, did you guys hear about Kane and Damar Rally? Morse Noodler, I'm sure you probably have.
I'm actually friends with the people who did it.
With the people who took out Kane?
Yes.
Oh, so this is going to be a very interesting conversation, because I'd love to hear their point of view, because I consider that griefing, and extreme, excessive stream sniping. And I know that there's people on the other side of the combat that said, it's like, nope, that's fair game. Like, they streamed it. We don't care what they're doing. They're open game. We're going to use any tool at our disposal, and whoever we want to go after under whatever circumstances, that's how they're going to get their jollies. So to give a quick summary of what happened. So Damar Rally, a month or so ago, had about 800 people involved. There were 70 people that organized it. They had 8 servers full. They had security elements in all of them. One of their servers was a little bit light. They weren't able to fill it up, and they had a little bit light of a security element. And so this group got into that server and took out all the Cyclones that were racing. And one guy survived. And this was after they wiped out the light security element. One guy survived, and he ran on foot across Damar for 3 hours.
God.
And at every other race finished. And there's thousands of people watching this. And he was literally the whole community was cheering this guy on. He was running across Daymar for 3 hours on foot. And so it was being streamed, and people were rooting for him. It's like, man, this guy, and he's a hero. And I'm gonna try not to get too triggered about these people who use the stream to track down this guy on foot and kill him with spaceships. And the guy he was 19 kilometers from the outpost. I mean, he ran for like 200 kilometers. And they killed him right before he got to the outpost. And so some people feel that, oh, that's exciting emergent gameplay. And I've reduced the spectrum of things that I would consider griefing, and I'm going to use a trigger word here that I used once, and I'm not going to use it except in pretty extreme cases, which I consider this. This was essentially a terrorist attack.
Gosh.
Yeah, it absolutely was. You're absolutely right. So can I offer my opinion?
Absolutely. I'd love to hear your side, because you know what the other side. There's always 3 sides to every story. There's the 2 people, and then the reality, or 50 sides. Everybody's perspective.
I can tell you why they did it. Some people in chat or viewers may be aware of a certain name, Harry Potter. Harry Potter is somebody who is very, very well known in the Elite Dangerous community for being a griefer. And he finally got banned recently by Frontier Development. And I believe is actually being sued by Frontier Development at the moment. But he is part of that organization, and he plays Star Citizen. So that gives you an idea of what SDC are like. And SDC are good friends of mine. And the reason they do stuff like that is purely for the notoriety. It's to get their name out there so people know who they are and what they're capable of. And I'll be open with you. My organization was going to join them. In fact, we tried to join them. We couldn't get onto the server. I was there, or trying to get onto the server to do the same thing and join in. And do you know why? Because my org initially wasn't going to get involved, but I contacted one of the organizers of the Daymar rally, and I said, look, just to give you a heads up, I think my organization want to hit the Daymar rally. And you know what response I got was? Don't worry, bring it, we've got security.
Sure.
But in terms of the stream sniping element, I don't stream snipe. And the reason I don't stream snipe is because I'm essentially a full-time streamer, and I don't want to risk getting banned, right? You can actually get banned from Twitch for doing that.
Yes, it is.
However, my view on it...
So... And modify my statement earlier. The attack and the wipeout of the Cyclones, I think that it was emergent gameplay.
Yeah, absolutely.
The fact that they tracked down Kane and killed him on foot.
It's not an easy thing to do that. It's so hard to find people. And I get why people would be pissed off at that. I kind of like, I don't want to upset you, but I found it a little bit funny.
I can certainly see that, certainly, and it made him famous, and it's a big story.
I think you're absolutely right, though. Describing it as a terrorist attack is probably what it was, because that's essentially, I guess, what SDC is really. But to bring it back to the stream sniping as a topic, I completely disagree with CIG's stance when it comes to stream sniping, according to.
But you don't know what their stance is. They said excessive and extreme, and so we don't know what that is.
Yeah,
that's true. And it would be nice to have more clarity as to what
I think that all of the people like you that are very heavy into, and that's actually a funny comment by another combat friend of mine. Like the people that are most complaining about this are the ones who do it the most. But the fact that CIG, I felt, as not someone who is sensitive to that feeling like I was being attacked by their statement, I felt that they made a very balanced statement, even though it wasn't carefully defined, that PvP is an integral part of the game. That
Absolutely.
Combat and pirating and all these things are integral to the game, and CIG loves the emergent gameplay that comes from that. And so a little bit about my story arc with PvP and non-consensual PvP and griefing and that word terrorism. So one of the very first streams that the Yacht Club had, so I founded the 890 Jump Club. So all the active owners of the 890 Jumps, they tend to be space tourists and cargo haulers and mostly non-combat people, although a lot of them own combat fleets, massive fleets. These are a lot of the people that are typically Care Bears, because they'll be running cargo and they'll flip out when they're killed, and that tends to excite the PvPers. And so a group of us started the Yacht Club show a year ago. We're just four of us here talking on stream and reviewing the week's news and events, and we decided to have an in-game event, and an 890 jump party. Had a bunch of people in, and we having a lot of fun, and then we probably had 30 40 people, and this is when the 890 jump first came out, and it was running out of fuel. So one would run out of fuel and we'd get another one, and everybody would EVA from that one to the next one. Well, a group of combat people infiltrated our partygoers, and nobody noticed it. None of us were even thinking about it, and we're very close to the end of the stream, and so we were all in the hot tub. Nobody had everybody was down to their skivvies, didn't have any weapons, and these guys come in and shoot everybody in the hot tub. And
it's like a scene out of John Wick.
Yeah, but well, I felt that was essentially a terrorist event, because there's no combat involved here. They're coming in and killing a bunch of people partying in a hot tub. Like, there's no combat. Like, how does this excite a combat person?
John, stop. You're gonna. That's so funny. That's.
In retrospect, it's hilarious. And well, so as a Care Bear at the time, representing Care Bears, I was triggered, and so the next morning I'm in concierge chat and I'm going off. It's like, these terrorists, like, this is literally a terroristic event. You come in and you wipe out a bunch of people in a pool. Nobody has any guns.
Come on,
right?
No, John, you don't understand. I think we're two different types of people, right? I wait for the day to be in a hot tub partying and get murdered. I want that to happen to me.
It was crazy.
So I think that's why, like, there's so, like, I disagree with a lot of what griefing is, because if something like that were to happen to me, I'd be like, that's going on YouTube.
Well, and the discussions that spurred over the next weeks and months changed my view tremendously. Mm-hmm. And I've tried to become an intermediary spokesman to reduce the Care Bearism of my people, as it were. Because I had conversations with a lot of combat people that knew the guy, and I so here's the additional funny part of the story. The guy who did this, I considered him a friendly acquaintance in concierge. I spent a lot of time in concierge chat on Spectrum, and I knew the guy, but I didn't know who did it. So I'm just kind of talking generally about, I don't know who these guys are, and so then later, after I'm not there, he finds out about my statements, and then he gets all triggered, and so that he has this vendetta against me. I actually met the guy at Austin CitizenCon, Bar Citizen, and we hung out, and it'd been fairly friendly, and it's like, how could you do this to me? and so I eventually, after having a lot of conversations with PvP people and combat people, it's like, okay, all right, I reduced my Care Bear reaction and realized, okay, that's like, he pulled this off, and he wasn't stream sniping. He saw the chat, because we're all talking in global chat in the server, and they tracked us down, and so over time, and when I started streaming, I've got a lot of people in my org that are in combat orgs. I just started streaming group stuff in game a couple of months ago, and one of my friends runs the security for my streams, and he uses his contacts in the community and through the Jump Club with a lot of other large lawful or mostly good side of the law combat orgs, and we have different ones running security for us every stream. And so it's actually been a real positive development from a networking standpoint, from an emergent gameplay on the stream, and we've made a lot of new friends, and it adds a lot of content. And then bounty hunters will come after us, and then like there was a couple of weeks ago, we had an event, and somebody that I knew that was in that guy's org was a mole in our group, and they came with us, and I saw him in the server list. It's like, I bet he's going to come after us. And we had a light security group. We had a brand new light security group that night, and my security chief was not. He was out at Bar Citizen, and so he comes and he comes right for me, and I'm in a group of Carricks, and he can't take me out shooting me. He's in a Connie, and so he rams me, and I spin out of control and smash on the ground, and I'm laughing the whole time because I'm watching this happen, and I know that he's going to come for me, and I die in this huge explosion, and I'm laughing about it because it's fun emergent gameplay. And so this is kind of the arc of where there's non-consensual PvP, there's extreme cases like the Kane event at Daymar Rally, and this whole broad spectrum. So it's a very interesting discussion, I think.
I agree, and you were with me on the yacht cruise that we took on the 890 jump of Microtech.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
The thing that blew me away the most was the security detail they had. Mm-hmm. If we did not have stream snipers that were so threatening, griefers, PvPers, pirates, if it wasn't so dangerous, there wouldn't have been a need for that amazing, well thought out, well planned, and organized security detail they had.
Yeah,
well
yeah. They had escort. They had retaliators. They had vanguards. They had freelancer misses escorting the 890 jump. They had Marines on board the 890 circulating amongst the guests.
Yes.
No guests were allowed to have weapons because any one guest could have pulled out a rifle and wiped everybody out and blew the whole event.
Right. They had. You could tell that they had a plan. There were certain stations that they had where they were standing, certain vantage points where they were, guarding. There was a guard on the cockpit at all times. There was, when we were let out to go stretch our feet and look at the scenery, we were escorted outside with armed guards. I interviewed one of the guards there. It was, I guess, he was the head of security. And
yeah, I was there listening. It was great.
He was telling me that there was he had guards in there that were in civilian clothes, or hiding somewhere on the ship or something like. He said something to that effect. And
yeah, he had like 20 people stationed around the ship because there's 68 rooms.
Yeah, and you had air support. And I mean, you couldn't do it. I was running, and I got yelled at for running. I had the gun pulled on me 2 times because I walked too close to the cockpit because I wanted to interview one of the guards, and all of a sudden I get too close to the cockpit, boom, the gun was pulled on me. I'm like, this is awesome. And every time we would step outside to stretch our feet, you'd see the ships go round in circles like vultures in the sky. And I'm sitting there thinking to myself, my crew were dangerous, right? They would have attacked me just because I was on it, right? That's who we are. And but they didn't that day, and I thanked them for that. Right? I thanked them for staying away. Of course, I was hoping they were going to attack because they would have gotten wiped out and obliterated. And I would have laughed at them.
Interesting gameplay.
Right, I would have laughed at them, right, forever. But it's because of PvPers, pirates, griefers, stream snipers. It's because of all that really made that tour very exciting for me. And it was
well said.
Thank you.
Something that I get asked a lot is, QQ, why did you destroy my prospector full of ore? Or why did you destroy my caterpillar full of cargo? And the real simple answer is because I want to piss you off. And I want you to group up with your friends and try and kill me. This is an MMO. And even if you're not very good at PvP, just put out a message on global chat. Just say, there's a guy killing me in my ship who wants to team up to try and kill him. He's got a bounty. Let's get him. That's all I want. Because, like I said earlier, it's very difficult right now to try and find PvP as a PvPer. And we,
So here's a question for you. If PvP wasn't so broken, and there were much more developed action points or centers of interest, like Jumptown. During the Jumptown days, that was kind of the heyday, the peak of in-universe PvPing. And if somebody wanted combat, they went to Jumptown, and there was just tremendous battles, and some servers would be light, and one of our Jump Club Care Bears got all tweaked because he was flying a caterpillar in a Jumptown. It's like, what the hell were you thinking? Why would you go to Jumptown in a caterpillar with no escort? It's like, and he got all upset. Like, you have to be intelligent about these things.
Right.
Yeah, absolutely. At the end of the day, I pretty much lived at Jumptown during those times, and it was great because it was during a time when stealth mechanics worked. So me in my Saber, I could sit like 3 kilometers away from Jumptown and nobody knew that I was there. And the moment they went inside the building, say they were in a freelancer, because back then the freelancer was a bit like the Constellation, that you could take the engines off and then it was stuck there. And I'd wait till they go in the building, safely assume that they'd just bought Widow, fly over, take their engines off, and just have a little laugh at their expense when they come out and then realize that they can't leave with all of their Widow. And then, of course, they'd get mad, they'd call their friends onto the server, and before you know it, you've got 10 ships above Jumptown all trying to kill me. And it was amazing. And unfortunately, we've... before I move on, the great thing about that was if you didn't want to be engaged in PvP, you didn't go to Jumptown. That was
that was a great time too, because there was nobody attacking people anywhere else in the persistent universe. You could do anything anywhere else, and you could watch global chat, and there's battles going on at Jumptown, and just laugh. Like, this is great. I can run cargo to my heart's content, and I don't have to worry. Except that cargo wasn't working very well at the time. I actually didn't start really running cargo until about till 3.7.
Let me address AJ real quick in the chat. He's asking where my videos have been, and yes, I've only been doing one video a week here lately because I've been working so much at my real job, tons of hours. Age the Mage, and I've got 2 videos locked and loaded, ready to come out. One's going to come out tomorrow, and the other one's going to come out either Monday, Tuesday, or Wednesday, and I'm going to start pumping them out quicker, maybe shorter videos. Maybe not all of them are going to be with Vega, so some of them will be solo, but they will. I will increase the content here on YouTube. I do stream a lot on Twitch every Tuesday through Friday from 6 to 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, and that is cutting into a lot of my editing time. And the reason why I do that is because I enjoy playing with friends, and a lot of people on YouTube don't like to see me play live with other people. So I do that a lot over on Twitch, but I am going to balance it out because I do know that there is a problem with me not uploading enough content on YouTube. So I apologize for that. It's being worked on ASAP. All right, sorry guys.
It's a full-time job.
Yeah, it is. All right, so we talked about. I don't think we got into the bottom of what is excessive griefing, what is excessive stream sniping.
I think that's hard to define, and I don't know if they really want to define that, because that kind of leaves that open for them. But I don't think that most of what everybody is worried about is going to happen. I don't think that anybody who happens to get recorded blowing somebody up is going to get banned. That's not going to happen. And I hear that constantly. It's like, I can't PvP anymore because somebody's going to record me, and I'm going to get banned and lose my $10,000 in chips. Like, I hear this all the time. It's like, they're not going to do this. Like, they said very clearly that it's only excessive cases. And the stream sniping, I know, is specific to that Kane event. And so, and I love hearing the backstory from Moist Noodle on the Harry Potter group was responsible for that. Those are the most extreme kind of people, and they're going to try to do those sorts of things. And I hope they get freaking banned. Absolutely.
So Jess Garcia is excessive as the same victim over and over.
I would actually agree with Jess there. So for me, I enjoy dogfighting. I love dogfighting. I don't necessarily enjoy upsetting people. I never, I hate the idea of upsetting people or a person to a point where they wouldn't want to play this game anymore, right? Because it's an MMO. I need people to play with at the end of the day, and I never really want to upset people. I would never target a specific person constantly over and over and over.
And I think
I would also
that's
never
a great definition. I think that's a great definition and a very important distinction. There's people that go out that target noobs and auroras at Olisar.
Yeah.
And they call that, it's like, oh, this is PvP combat. You're in a freaking Vanguard, and you're killing an Aurora that's trying to take off from Olisar, and they're not shooting at you. They're just trying to take off, and they don't know to quantum before they get out of the armistice zone.
So for me and my org, we have a specific policy regarding this. So we're fine with killing people in prospectors and freelancers and whatever ship. What we won't attack are starter ships, because chances are, if you're looking at a starter ship, it's going to be that person's first time playing Star Citizen, and it's like you said, they don't know what the armistice zone is. They don't know how to quantum away to escape you,
and they don't know that all the PvPers in the server are at Olisar waiting to kill people.
Exactly. Yeah.
I love that you have that distinction, and I going into this from the early part of the conversation, I had some reservations, but my respect for you is way up there, man. Way up there.
It's like I said, at the end of the day, I want people to play with, and the more people that we can get into the community and I can encourage to PvP, then that's a good thing for me. So in a way, I'm kind of being selfish, really,
Great perspective.
Okay, so you guys don't think someone who streams snipes all day long, but not the same streamer, is okay, right?
So for me,
I think that's okay.
I don't necessarily have just to reiterate again, I don't stream snipe because I don't want to get in trouble with Twitch. But
Twitch?
For me,
wait, that's a Twitch thing?
Yeah, you can ban from Twitch for stream sniping.
What?
If you're caught stream sniping, yeah. But for me personally, if people want to stream snipe me, knock yourself out. At the end of the day, Star Citizen as a game gives you enough tools to stay alive that, even if you're a streamer, you can stay alive.
Okay, so in that, so if everyone knows who Rexzilla is primarily a first-person shooter.
Yeah, I killed him a few times,
and so he would stage these massive ops, and he'd be on the ground having FPS combat, and stream snipers would come in fighters trying to kill him, and it would be the same ones over and over again. And the only way that they could find him on the ground is watching his stream. And I would consider that as excessive stream sniping. They're coming in fighters to kill a guy on the ground. That's not combat. They're just trying to stream snipe and grief, really.
But my counter argument is that Rexzilla would regularly hit 1,000 people. He had the largest community in the game, and he was very capable of filling a server every single day. And what ended up happening is that he built the ZDF, or rather people helped him build the ZDF, and they ended up with a very competent security force. And
yes, they did.
There were multiple times where I joined in. Again, I wasn't necessarily stream sniping, but I joined in and I would attempt to take Rex down. But we didn't because of the ZDF. And at the end of the day, again, we're just looking for PvP, and we got exactly what we wanted. We weren't necessarily going there to kill Rex. We were going there to fight and to PvP.
Well, and so in narrowing down that distinction, you were going there for combat. You knew that he had a very capable air combat security operation, so you could go and you wouldn't necessarily have to go and try to kill him on the ground. You could just go and engage with their air combat security, and have great PvP.
Yeah,
and I think that is tremendous emergent gameplay, and it's kind of thing
absolutely.
where he can look up and see these battles going on overhead, and
yes,
looks cool.
That is exactly it. I think.
So that's
people,
the distinction.
You've got people who they call themselves content creators, and it's about creating content. And on one side of the argument, they cheer when they see pretty explosions in the sky, but then on the other side of it, they get mad when those bullets start raining down on them and they get killed. I've said it time after time since this post has been posted by Xylo. If you're a content creator and somebody is coming after you, make content out of it. And there are content creators, for example, Detox or Captain Burks, who do an incredible job of dealing with stream sniping. The moment a stream sniper turns up, they flip a switch in their head, they go into roleplay mode, they're suddenly the admiral of their fleet, and they're barking orders at their fleet to engage the enemy. And
See,
it
that's
looks
fun.
fantastic.
Yeah, and that's what I did when that guy came after us. We had eight Carracks, a couple of Vanguards, and of course we're all soloing the Carrack, so we don't even have anybody in the turrets. But we had a couple of, I think we had 2 or 3 escort ships. And so I was watching them down, and people were calling out. It's like, okay, we've got somebody at OM4, and they're heading down for you. It's like, okay, we've got incoming. Everybody go evasive, and everybody head for 10,000 meters, and we're going to jump out and security. So yeah, it is tremendously fun, interesting, emergent gameplay when you look at it like that. Definitely.
I have been guilty in the past of getting stroppy when I've been doing training with people on stream, and other people who have turned up, who have been like high-level PvPers, have turned up and just flown in and destroyed everybody. But in hindsight, I can't get mad at those people, because at the end of the day, we're all playing in the same sandbox. We are all
a very small one,
and you're right. It's a very small sandbox, and we have to share the space, and we all think differently. We all want different things, and we just have to accept that we have to share this space, And
until we have a much bigger space, at which point people can start spreading out and
not even the space. It's things like the lore systems coming online. I get people frequently, every single day, coming into my channel going, "Oh, Noodle, what are you going to do when prisons come out?" And my simple answer is, well, go to prison. Obviously, what else am I going to do with my time? But I can't wait for it, because yeah, sure, once I've been to prison like 5 or 6 times, it's going to be, it's going to turn into a bit of a chore, but that will incentivize me to play more carefully and not to allow myself to be killed by bounty hunters. I won't want to risk a torpedo hitting me. I'll just run until they run out of torpedoes and then engage them. And the game is evolving, and not only is the game evolving, the community is evolving, and we as content creators need to evolve with it.
I agree.
We have a long way to go. So much to come.
And I've learned a lot on this stream. I didn't know that stream sniping was a terms of service breach for Twitch.
Yeah.
Twitch, that's a surprise to me and a shock. So maybe I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong on my stance on stream snipe. I just don't think it's a I get mad. You said, Moist Noodle, you just said don't get mad when it starts happening to you when you like seeing explosions in the sky and stuff. I mean, I think people should get mad, but I don't think people should go and complain and say protect me.
Yeah.
Now, wait. I shouldn't say that. If somebody's being harassed day in, day out, every 10 minutes, then I guess that's where I would say it's extreme griefing. Something's wrong in that.
And I think that's the distinction. And I think that the powers that be it Twitch, be it CIG, will make that distinction, that it's not just an occasional thing. If it is every single time that you're a target and that they are continually coming after you to disrupt your content and harass you, that's harassment, like other kinds of harassment. Mm-hmm. And I think that's where it begins to be considered something that to be addressed at an official standpoint. There is no way that any of these CIG or Twitch or whoever are just going to take one incident and say it's like, oh, you have a little video of something happening, we're just going to ban these people. That's never going to happen. And people are flipping out saying that it's like, this is going to happen. I can't PvP at all anymore.
Right.
Bunch of crybabies.
We have
Care Bear combat people.
At the end of the day, we all got to remember it's an MMO, and they gave us guns and very powerful ships. And I think one of the biggest things I think that Moist Noodle maybe suffers from, and me, I think it's in my personality to want to fight other people, even though I'm not good at it yet, is there's nothing for PvPers to do right now, except for start fights.
And even then, it's broken. PvP is in a terrible place right now because of the server desync, the weapon imbalances, the shield holes. But before we came on the stream, I was listening to Moist Noodle talking about a lot of these things, and I don't really engage in combat, so I just hear second and third hand about this. But this has been going on for quite some time, and some people say that they're being ignored by CIG, or they're being relegated to the side, or what have you. But CIG is trying to develop this entire universe, and a lot of the things that they're trying to do right now are unfortunately affecting PvP, and they can't stop the overall development just to fix PvP. There's things they have to do in the next steps, and I think that we're going to see that improve tremendously. And also, Moist Noodle mentioned earlier that the new vehicle experience team is going to be focusing on vehicle performance and weapon balance and those things.
And you do see a lot of stuff that's coming together that's going to give a lot of people PvP experience with the law system, bounty hunting, prisons. Just all these things are going to come together, releasing the armistice zone, taking away the armistice zones, all these things. There's going to be a ton of stuff. And I think they need, look, I like to bounty hunt, and recently I've tried pirating. I stole a Carrack with my crew.
You evil bastard.
Yes, I know, but that wasn't enough. After that, we got greedy, and we stole somebody's reclaimer.
Oh, but I don't know where this is going.
There's one of the guys right there, and it was.
I was the one who flew it out.
Yep, Mac was there too, and it was the most fun I've ever had. And was it wrong?
Yeah,
technically, yeah. Look, I felt dirty the morning after. I did. I think I took
Carrack after you left.
Okay, come on, don't out us too much, man. Come on.
Well, as long as the Carrack wasn't full of cargo that somebody had spent weeks building up, there's no real downside there.
Right.
The downside for some of these people where they're putting hours and hours into building up their UEC, grinding out cargo, and then they get wiped out. They lose 1 million UEC. That is tremendously personally painful, because our time is emotionally valuable to us.
Look, I lost, I don't know, 60 or 70,000 UAC. It was about, I think, like last month, and I was coming to Port Olisar to sell it, and right when I came out of quantum travel, somebody killed me, missiled me, right? Boom, dead. Money's gone. That was my first time ever losing that much. I was mad. I hurt my hand because I pounded it so hard on the desk. I went into I remember the guy's name, right? I went into his name was, what was it? Core? God damn it. Kore.
I remember mine. His name was Crusader.
I went into the Discord and I said, and this was the first time I rallied the Cobra Force. I said, anybody want to come help me get this guy? And before you knew it, we had a bunch of people in there, and we were going after him. We killed him. We got him. You know how fun that was?
That's emergent gameplay right
I was pissed. I wanted to make a video saying, all you PvPers suck. You know, I did. I was mad. But then the next day, I was at work, and you know your thought trails when you're at work, and I was at work, and I'm like, wait a minute. This guy made my gameplay super exciting.
Yeah.
And you know, I didn't record any of it, but how cool was it that I went in and got the gang and we went after this dude, and he's made it to where, and Erebus, during this time, I thought that people could steal my cargo, right? I thought pirates could do that. During that time, Erebus had told me, no, pirates can't steal it. And I'm like, well, that sucks. It doesn't make it scary to trade then. And then this guy, Core, comes and kills me. And I'm like, wait a minute. He does make trading scary. You know, if I'm in a freelancer coming back and forth to Port Olisar 10 times, then somebody's going to know I'm trading. And somebody's going to try and rain on my parade. And
Can I let you into a little known secret?
Yeah.
Because obviously I was teaching people a new trading exploit yesterday and today, right? And you were there yesterday for some of it. There is actually CIG have accidentally bugged pirating into the game. You can steal other people's ship and sell their cargo, but it's a bug. Yeah. It's called the gluing bug. So there are certain ships that you can use to glue other people's ships to your ship. You can then take the ship to Grimhex.
We saw
and
something
the
like
cargo, the cargo of their ship then turns into the cargo of your ship.
Oh, wow.
It allows you to sell this stuff. Yeah.
Wow.
Interesting.
You're going to have to teach us. I mean, no, we don't need to know that. Yes, we do. Message me. Most it'll we'll talk.
But also,
I'll have my people call your people. All right.
Okay.
This person is practicing for future pirate gameplay. They can't normally steal your cargo right now, but they're practicing for when they'll be able to.
Yeah, absolutely.
I have done it on accident.
But they need something to do. People who want to bounty hunt, they need a better bounty hunting system because it sucks right now.
That's what happened to your ship yesterday, Cobra.
Yeah, no, yeah. And the bounties need to be more expensive. The pirate system needs to be more piratey for people. And because at the end of the day, yes, this is a game of many different facets. It's exploration, it's trading, it's careers, but it's also one of the first experiences I had in Star Citizen. I think it was like my third video. I went to Grimhex for the very first time delivering a box, and I'm running through the Grimhex, and these two guys walked up to me. And it was scary. People told me Grimhex was for pirates. And when I got there was these two guys. And they were like, what you got in the box there, buddy? What you got in the box? And they were backing me into a corner. And this guy, I wouldn't answer him. And he's like, what's in the box? You know, just like really pressuring me, right? And I'm like, are you guys pirates? And then he goes, who wants to know? And then, so I'm like, I'm out of here. I ran away, dude. I ran away. I made so many twists and turns trying to get away from these guys. But he followed me. And I went into the place to put the drop, to do the box, and he went in there too, spying on me to see if I was doing any trading. So then I struck up a conversation with him, and we started talking about. He started saying, "I'm a pirate. We do this. This is how we do it." And some guy comes out of an easy hab, and he's getting ready to run down and get his ship out, and he overhears us talking. And we're like, hey, what's going on? So he comes over, he starts talking to us, and the guy's name was Blind Zato. Really cool guy. And so Blind Zato was like, Blind Zato's the pirate. He goes, so what you up to? And he goes, oh, I'm going to do some box delivery missions so I can get enough money to start doing some trade runs. And he goes, oh, really? What are you going to run? And he goes, oh, I'm going to run some diamonds. He goes, oh, yeah? Where are you going to run it from? Oh, I'm going to get it from here. And he goes, where are you dropping it off at? Right? And he goes, I tell you what you should do. You should go here and you go there. And he looked at me, and Blind Zato was messaging me, and he goes, this is what you call fishing for info.
Yeah, that was such a great video.
Yeah. Oh, you seen that one?
Oh, of course, I've seen almost all your videos,
Thank
man.
you, buddy.
I'm a huge fan. It's like a whole hour long. I listen to the whole thing, and a lot of times I'll have you on while I'm on my commute, and I'll listen to you in the car so I can catch up because. Yeah, great content, man.
Thank you. Yeah, that was amazing, dude. And it was like, seeing somebody do that, and it was like one of the best experiences I've ever had in video games. And I've had a lot of good experiences in video games, but that one was just so original, so custom.
Well, the word is also immersive. You were immersed in the scenario of these people interacting in this universe, completely immersed. They weren't following a storyline. They were doing their own thing, and that's what's so exciting about this entire universe. And I never call this a game. I'm going to get you to stop calling this a game.
I call it a project.
I call it the project or the verse, because it is so much bigger and more than any other game, in air quotes, than anyone ever imagined. They're literally creating a universe for us, a sci-fi universe to live in and create your own story and complete freedom.
Yeah. It's dangerous, and it should be dangerous. That's why in my videos I've never heard anybody else say it ever until, I started saying it. May the verse be with you. Because you need the verse on your side, because Blind Zato looked at me. And I'm like, well, you scared me there for a second. And he walks up real close to me and he goes, well, it's a dangerous verse. And I'm just like, that was chilling, man. Well, I got the hell out of there.
And that's important. And as somebody who represents a large community of Care Bears, God bless them. I love my Care Bears, but sometimes they're just, just wake up, guys. It's like it is a dangerous verse out there. And the first thing I always tell people is like, always keep half your money in reserve. Don't put all your money into a cargo one, because
you've played EVE Online, haven't you?
No, but I know all about EVE. I mean, I've studied all the other similar MMOs, so that I'll understand it, because we're going to have that element of gameplay and all of the depth of some of the crazy stuff that happens.
Played EVE for like a year.
Yeah, it's gonna get really crazy as the verse builds out.
Yeah, and
even if there's not pirates, there's so many game-breaking bugs, like the 30Ks and the client crashes, and I lost. You lost 60 or 70,000. I lost 250,000 the other day in a quantum into Hurston.
Oh, I done that too, man.
Yep, Hurston.
But I still had 170 in reserve, because. Don't put all your money into a cargo one. You're just an idiot.
The biggest griefer in this game are the servers.
I learned that the hard way.
So I wanted to get your guys' opinion in the chat. I want you to call into the show. We got a few people on here that I want to get some opinions of that are already on call. If you are a supporter on Patreon, you do get access to come into the call, come onto the show without asking. You get to bust down the door. You don't even have to ask. So we got a few people in here already, and we're going to go ahead and start with them. But who wants to go first? Got any questions for Moist? Noodle, I almost called you Pineapple because there's somebody in our community named Moist Pineapple Pizza, and so I got confused there. My brain just glitched. But do you have any questions for Moist or Jerron, or do you have an opinion on the griefing or stream sniping or anything? If you're just tuning in, I don't mind being stream sniped. So just so you know where I stand, I'm not.
I'll remember that.
I'm not. I'm not one of those crybaby streamers who go, "I'm a streamer. I need to be protected." No, I don't.
Streamer shields for everybody.
Well, you probably know where I stand, because
Go ahead.
We did pirate another ship after you.
You dirty criminals.
Yeah, it was stock, though.
I never became this violent until I met Adam.
Yeah,
I think that's the same for all of us.
I mean, he got him to think he was a dictator. I mean,
So, there is one thing that hasn't been mentioned here, and that's something that happened to the Elite Dangerous community. Elite Dangerous clamped down on PvP and very much turned it to a PvE sort of game. They sort of stepped away from the PvP action, and the game, I don't want to say it's dead, but a lot of the player base that used to play Elite Dangerous has left and have come over to Star Citizen just because of the fact they don't have that PvP aspect anymore. I really hope Star Citizen doesn't make the same mistakes, because I don't want to say it killed the game, but it's definitely made the community with Elite Dangerous a lot smaller, to the point now where, like streaming like Elite Dangerous, there's flat out 50 people watching.
Star Citizen at its essence is a space combat sim.
Yeah.
In many ways, you can do anything you want, but Chris Roberts, this is the evolution of Wing Commander, and I don't know who all here played Wing Commander in was it 30 years ago. Some of us are old. He wanted to create an immersive space combat game, and then it grew into this huge universe. But every ship has guns. I mean, the Prospector has guns. They're ineffective, but
hey, I've killed people with the Prospector. I'll have you know.
Yeah, I was going to say that the Prospector's best weapon is actually the mining laser.
The mining laser, yeah.
That thing. Yeah.
well,
Hi,
it is
I'm
a
Moist
dangerous
Noodle. How are we?
I'm good, thank you, man.
Yeah, and like Eve, there's going to be this huge universe where there's going to be high sec, low sec, medium sec. There's going to be a fairly small part of it that is could be considered safe. That it's so well developed, that it's so well patrolled, that if you don't want to engage in PvP, you can hang out in these less than 10 star systems. I've actually done a research project on this.
Pyro, not less than 10.
Pyro is the opposite of that. So, of the 100 star systems that are planned, less than 10, maybe 10, are really going to be able to be considered safe, where your chances of being engaged in non-consensual PvP or combat are very, 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 very small. But that leaves 90% of the universe that is the spectrum from, like, Stanton is a medium security system where there's a lot of pirates. Depending on where you are, there's more or less patrols, but there's a lot of combat. There's so much of the verse that is completely there's no law. The Pyro is going to be the first next system, full star system that we get here later this year. And there is no law. There's anything goes, which for me, as a lawful player, kind of cheeses me off a little bit.
Yeah.
But that's okay. It's like once we start getting Pyro and the next system's development is going to speed up tremendously. So I know that there's a lot more coming.
Oh, yeah.
And
What do you think the next one will be? After Pyro.
Well, the Nyx system is going to come, if not with Pyro, then immediately thereafter. Because Delamar, which is that planetoid in our star system, was the first one that we got, actually belongs in the Nyx star system, which is one jump beyond Pyro. I've been saying that Pyro is going to be our next system for a year and a half because it's one jump away. There's very little developed there. It's mostly just empty planets and moons.
Not like Terra.
It's not like a very heavily developed system, so it's going to be very easy for them to build out. And then there's 5 jump points from that star system, so from there they can go to a lot of other places and rapidly fly more systems.
Also, Pyro gives them lava.
Which one are you looking forward to most? Have you looked at the map?
I spend a lot of time on the map. Yes, and hopefully everybody out there has seen the interactive 3-dimensional star map, and also
is nice.
Oh yeah, it's amazing.
the concept art and the story, the lore behind all of those 100 star systems. Every planet, every moon has a story but behind it and fits into the overall story of the universe. I'm looking forward to those 10 safe star systems. Really, the like Terra and Cassell.
Also, to be fair,
Soul
I think
system.
when Pyro comes out, I think that's where you're going to find Moist Noodle hanging out. I think that's where you're
And
going to
us,
find.
and us, Cobra.
Yeah, I know. I was getting there.
Where
I was
are we
getting there.
gonna put our pirate base?
Don't you worry. We will be sat at the jump point waiting for people to fly in.
Oh my God! Look at that. Oh, that's
And so that's going to be so there's something I want to ask you about. So how do you feel that CIG is going to address that jump point camping, or is that going to be that new jump town? That's going to be
I think no. I think it will actually be policed. I suspect what will happen is that there'll be like an unofficial sort of security pirate organization that runs Pyro, and they will probably be camping at the jump point to try and keep the peace amongst pirates. You know,
we don't
a bit
pay
like
that-
money
that's a good
to
Tortuga,
go in.
you know.
I can get behind that. I think that's a very good theory.
Because I think what will ultimately end up happening right now, we don't have MPs like security NPCs that quantum in and out. With the law system evolving and with new AI, eventually that will happen, and I think it will actually be incredibly stressful to be somebody with a crime stat in a location like Stanton. Like you'll have to constantly be on the move.
Do you remember back in maybe 2.2 or 2.3 when they had they'd introduced Grimhex, and criminals could only spawn at Grimhex, and they couldn't even see Olisar. And if a criminal got to Olisar, they'd spawn in like 20 Avengers and wipe them out.
Yeah,
I think that was a cool idea.
I don't know why they do that. Why they don't do that now? And that seems like the best at a bigger scale, the best way to address the pad ramming.
And
I
if you
think-
wanted to get the Grimhex, you had to actually find it.
well.
I think
Moist Noodle. Moist
I
Noodle.
think it's as simple as they forgot. Like there are if you go back and watch some old videos from like 2.0 and 2.1, 2.2, there are some fantastic game mechanics in there for combat, not just PvP but generally combat. It's tiny little things like when you land shots on your target, you get an audible tick sound to let you know that you've landed a shot.
Is that gone?
It's gone. It's not been in the game for a long time. And
Yeah, that's right.
I find things like that incredibly helpful.
Yes.
And you know, realistically, I think these are just things that, you know, at some point they were broken or they were removed from the game because it was causing a bug somewhere else in the game, and they've just forgotten to re-implement them. It's as simple as that.
You're probably right.
Headlights?
That's one of the things a lot of people don't realize is how much CIG has grown. That a lot of the devs that they have now weren't here then. In 2000 and they've been adding like 100 people per year. So in 2015, they only had maybe 250 developers, and they've added 400 people since then. So all the people that are developing systems now weren't here in those early days. And the higher level pillar directors like Todd Pappy and Brian Chambers, and they're at such a high level that they might be.
They're not
not
super aware of every minute detail.
Yeah, 100%. And it's such a huge project. I keep saying this, like they should bring back that mechanic where they just spawn in overwhelming force around Olisar when there's a level 4 or 5 crime stat. And so what's your thoughts on what level of crime stat is going to end up in prison? Because it's like Cobra was saying, it's like you bump another ship and you get a level 2 crime stat. Like you shouldn't have to go to prison for that.
I would hope it's only level 5.
At least 4, but definitely 5.
I agree. That's something I really hope is the case.
I have a feeling it's going to be more about 3 and higher.
I'm hoping that it's 4 or 5 because as a lawful player, I have no interest in getting involved in anything that would end up getting me in jail. And I've been saying, like, if I end up in jail, I am going to become so infuriated and rage quit and triggered because I shouldn't end up. Well, I should not end up in jail through bugs or mismanaged law system or exploits. So I got a level 3 crime stat because some griefer came and tracked me down because he got annoyed with me in chat and smashed into me, and I got a level 3 crime stat. Like, how the hell does that happen?
And he smashed into you.
Yeah, I'd like to take a break here real quick and Mr. and say a few things. Mr. Wazel Halid, you guys, I think, do this to make it hard for me to read your names. He says, "Hey Cobra, the most relaxed I've seen a Star Citizen streamer to date. Rock on, bro. Thank you so much." Adam, could you do me a favor and drop down in the Cobra Force room and see if any of those people are waiting to get on the call? I don't know if they're playing the game or if they're waiting to get on the show. Sure. Okay, thank you, buddy. I appreciate that. And I would also like to thank Ray at Home, who just became a Patreon subscriber. I did update your role in Discord, so you are allowed to just come right on in now, Ray. And also to kind of break it up, I know, John, I think you had a lot of things that were on your mind that you also wanted to talk about tonight. I think that since I've been following Star Citizen, I followed it for a long time. I backed it back in 2015. I just didn't play it until last September. But I've been following a lot of the updates and videos and stuff like that. One of the best Inside Star Citizen videos came out last week that I've seen in a long time. It was a really good video. So did you have anything on your mind outside of the PvP conversation that you wanted to bring up tonight?
I've really liked the last couple of Inside Star Citizens. I know a lot of the community has been frustrated with not getting enough content in the shows, but I've been very happy with it. What specifically in that excited you?
It was packed full of just wow. You know, like the clothing.
Are we on about the? Yeah.
Oh yeah, I want some of that clothing.
Yeah, it was the clothing. It was, God, what was it? There was so much in there. It's, you know when you have a good Christmas, and you're like, man, it was a good Christmas, and you're like, what did I get? I can't remember what I got. I got so much stuff, right? And that's what that reminded me of. There was so much that was.
Are we getting a tour of New Babbage next week?
Yes.
Hey,
Oh yeah.
But that bar I saw, I think we should make that a new hangout place.
Oh, it will be. We're gonna get drunk. They just said today on the video that we're going to be able to drink, and the bartender will serve us in 3.9.
Oh, so they finished him.
Yes.
Yeah, bartender's finished.
Yep. So yes, it's gonna be a drunken podcast. And
so when the character
be there a
drinks,
lot.
one should also drink.
That's right. Yeah, bring your BYOB, bring your own beer, BYOBIRL. Okay.
Yeah, I'm having a beer right now. Actually, I just finished.
I had two.
Beer.
Also,
Like,
Cobra.
I'm so excited about having actual bartenders in game and actually being able to have a drink in game. Finally.
What was that?
Well,
Adam?
you know, there's more stuff to do. You know?
I pulled in Zanguard, Black Bora, and Lucky Token Monkey.
Lucky Token Monkey, Zanguard, and Black Boar. What's going on, guys? How you guys doing tonight?
How you doing?
Doing pretty good. We've talked about a few subjects tonight, mostly around PvP and stuff like that. But if you would like to elaborate more on what your opinions are for stream sniping, all that stuff, please do so. If you got something else you'd like to bring up, that's fine too.
Cool. How you guys all doing tonight?
I'm doing great. How are you?
Doing good, Gato.
Doing pretty good.
So what's on your guys' mind? Who wants to go first?
Well, I don't have much to say because I'm all new to it all, so I'm just listening.
Welcome to the verse, and welcome to the
buddy.
best community anywhere.
Thank you, guys.
Welcome to the best community anywhere. Like everybody on all sides, this is a great community.
It is.
and
It's been fun so far for me. I mean, enough where I, sold my PS4.
See, you don't have in this community like you in other gaming communities. If you're a noob, you get laughed at. You get told to get good, son. And all this craziness. But if I've never, maybe Moist Noodle will call me a noob and make fun of me behind my back. But
Nah.
nobody's made fun of me yet, and I suck still, right? Like I'm still learning.
I make fun of you all the time, though, Cobra. What are you talking about?
Yeah, but you crash more than I do, to be fair.
I did have a lot of fun. too.
I think the
I'm always
reason
a
why. I think the reason why the community is so nice is because the target audience for this game is just it's a different level, right?
Wow, yeah.
It's not like you're not gonna find a 5-year-old kid flying carrots around unless their parents get it. So the general audience for this game is different from most others.
True.
I don't think it's this game per se. I think it's space in general. It doesn't matter if you play Elite or Star Citizen. I've played both games, and I'll tell you now, the community on both games is just as good as each other. So I think it's more of a fact that it's the sci-fi sort of genre where, it does attract a lot of the older people, but also they tend to be more grounded and a lot more happier and
Maybe
stuff
more
like that.
idealistic, that we're dreaming of this more fun, interesting future.
It's also we have something all in common. We all want to shoot for the stars and build a spaceship and fly away from this rock.
And we could also be honest here and say that it's a very expensive game. It can be a very expensive game, right?
It is.
Oh, yeah.
It is.
So-
You have to have a gaming PC.
Gaming
Yeah, it's not for
PC
everyone.
plus if you want to really get involved in supporting the development of the game and buy these ships, it can become
Must
very
spend-
expensive.
Or
So
you
I
develop an addiction.
Right. I
Just
think a
made it
lot
is.
more mature people are playing this game that have a lot of money invested into it. I meet a lot of people who are concierge.
Steady job.
Yeah, exactly. So I think there's a more mature level just because of that simple fact alone.
That isn't to say that you can't spend a lot of money in other games, so.
Well, that's true.
It's
I
just-
know a
it's
lot of people
different.
spend a
It's
lot of money in Fortnite.
Well, even
Hearthstone,
games
Fortnite,
like, Battle and whatnot.
Or even WoW, people are paying $15 a month for how many years? That adds up to hundreds and hundreds of dollars.
Yeah.
ESO. Things
I've
like that.
always played.
And then there's
paid
Destiny.
for a monthly subscription, always.
And then
I want to comment on Joran's comment a little earlier about ED and their groups. I was heavily involved with a faction there, a player faction, and it was a bunch of great guys just there to play the game and have fun. Everybody was cool.
Mm-hmm.
So I agree with his assessment. It seems to be in general a more mature or space.
About the only
interested-
5-year-old that I've ever run across in Star Citizen is Adam.
Yeah.
That's just because he sounds like a 5-year-old.
and
I mean,
And
we
Cobra.
still reclaimer. We had a great victory. We had a carrot and we had a reclaimer side by side, and we're getting ready to sing pirate songs. I was getting ready to find some pirate music to play for the stream,
Got some pirate
and this
ale.
guy just goes psychopath and murders everybody on the ship.
I remember that.
So I was avenging the owner of the reclaimer, sir.
What the
I was a
hell?
hero
No, you
of that
weren't.
day.
Weren't you?
Yes, I was.
Weren't you the one who killed him?
But also, to be fair, the owner of the reclaimer, he was kidnapping us.
Yeah.
Yeah, he
I
was
foiled his plan.
he was kidnapping
I
us.
followed him.
He was taking us to the different levels. When people would get off, he would go to a different level, and when people would go off, he'd go into a different level, and he was trapping all of us on board.
I'm
But
sure
I
he was
foiled
doing
his
that
plan.
eventually.
And I jumped onto his elevator when he just was leaving.
Nemesis 1 says that kid Adam.
So when we got to the main deck, I just ran faster than him.
Yeah, it's super fun. But no, you're right. It is a very mature community, and I was surprised to find out that there was a lot more people my age, and even older than
Yeah,
me
I know.
that
Yes.
play this
Well, it lets us live our second life.
game. That true. Yeah.
Life that we've always wanted deep down, but we can't have it right.
If you're new and you go into Duran's Discord server, my Discord server, anybody's Discord server, and says, hey guys, I'm new, I don't know what I'm doing. No one's going to laugh at you. No one's going to laugh at your video of you crashing or you losing dogfights. Everyone's going to come to you with open arms, and they're going to tell you, what do you need help with? Let me help you.
Well, let's not oversell it.
Maybe
of course we're
except
going to laugh at them.
Oh yeah, for sure.
I don't.
Oh,
Can I admit
most
to
of us
something?
don't.
Can I admit to something?
Yeah, uh-oh.
So when I do come across Auroras and Mustangs, although I don't kill them, what I do tend to do is if they open fire at me, I give them the most exciting first impression of what PvP is in Star Citizen. I don't shoot them, I shoot around them, but I like to think they're having the time of their life.
Well, and if they're coming at you and shooting at you, then then they're choosing to engage in PvP.
No, but I like what Moist Noodle just said. He shoots around them and gives them a really good first experience.
Yeah.
That's amazing, Moist Noodle.
That is.
Yeah.
That is very cool.
Yeah.
Most exciting, or they're shitting themselves in their Aurora.
Although I think once the game is finished, maybe they'll offer a package that don't have a ship.
I hope
remember-
so. I want a space bum package.
We need crewmen.
I first tried to play Star Citizen. I think, was there a time when it was only just Port Olisar?
Yeah.
Yeah, pretty much.
And there was a couple like comrades or some kind of like stations
And
out there somewhere.
Crusader is just a backdrop.
Okay, yeah, I think I tried to play it then on a PC, and I was running at like 5 frames per second. It was like it was like a slideshow.
Yes.
It was it's a slideshow, right? So I was in Aurora, and it didn't blow my mind at the time because I wasn't experiencing what it was really like because I didn't have a computer that could. But I remember going to a space station, and I was in an Aurora, and I shot at another ship just because I was a noob. And I just wanted to shoot something. And within my 5 frames, I was dead so fast.
Well, that's the thing. That's the one thing that speaking of PvP, that I really do miss, and Moist Noodle will agree to this, is Jumptown. The good old days where, we used to romp up to Jumptown, and Moist Noodle will be flying around in his little group of fairy men, and we would turn up and get into these great big gunfights. By the way, Sync says hi, Moist Noodle. But yeah, and we used to shoot, and there used to be this great big space battle going on while people were flying in and grabbing their boxes and running for their lives, thinking, Jesus Christ, it's like World War III up there.
It was so good.
I mean, wasn't that so well
that's
done?
Gonna be
now in the story.
Yeah, I think that's going to be a challenge as the universe grows, because that was an economic center where people were making tons of money on buying and selling Widow in a very very small area and location.
Maybe Pyro might have a similar effect.
Well, Todd Pappy was talking about that today, that because it's going to be lawless and there's much more danger, that there's going to be a lot higher rewards. So I think that we're definitely going to see that. There's going to be much more money to be made in certain areas there, and that's what's going to draw people into the danger zone. So I'm excited to see that.
As they say, fortune favors the bold.
Well, at the end of the day, there's nothing stopping them bringing Jumptown back, except the fact that they've put artificial limits on how much you can and can't sell. That's the thing that's stopping.
They've also added other drug dens, but essentially all they need to do is take one of the drug dens and make it profitable and remove the limitations of selling the ore.
Another issue that brings up is server population cap. Because now if we're gonna add in, now we add another system. We're pretty spread thin with 50 people on one system. With another system, it's going to be even fewer.
And this is exactly why a location like Jumptown is so important. Because when you think, right, so Microtech has the same landmass as Canada.
Right.
Now imagine and we've got 3 planets that we can land on so far, each one with 3 or 4 moons. So imagine taking 50 people and dropping them in random places in Canada and going, go find each other.
Yeah.
That's essentially Star Citizen.
Good analogy.
Right now.
Good analogy.
We need to find a way to funnel players into the same location.
I agree.
Now, obviously,
Yeah,
server
you're right.
meshing will fix this problem because we won't have just 50 people on a map. It'll be everybody on the same map,
Yeah,
but just
absolutely.
in different servers. But the earliest I've heard of server meshing coming through is early 2021 at the moment, from what I've been told. So it's still a way away. But yeah, you're right. They go through.
That's only a year.
Yeah,
That's short and
It seems like a long time, but I don't know about you young people, but a year goes by in an eye blink for me. I can't believe it's already March.
Yeah, it's already March, eh?
Yeah.
That's true.
But there's also another important inflection point at around the end of this year, beginning of next year. So we're going to have server meshing, and also Squadron 42 is going to beta. What's very important about that time inflection point in this development arc that we have is that they have to have combat working flawlessly within the next year. When Squadron 42 comes out, combat has to be working flawlessly. The flight model, the weapons, the balance, the shields, the components, the physical damage, which is going to change how combat affects everything tremendously. That you're not just going to have a set number of hit points to time to pop and the ship blows up. You're going to be firing at a ship and it's going to take damage at a particular point in its armor, and it's going to have armor values. And then if there's a component underneath that, then the component will be damaged. The ship's not just going to randomly blow up when it takes a certain amount of damage, and that's going to change combat.
How's it going, Cobra?
More than I think most people can imagine. And all that's going to happen over the next 12 months. So, as broken as it is right now, I think the changes that CIG is making to improve the server performance, client to server actor network refactor, which is coming in 4.0. That's 4 months away. That's going to be huge. And having the vehicle experience team, which is focused on the vehicle experience, we're going to see these things work much better and combat be better. So then it comes down to having a place that's going to funnel people, like Moist Noodle was saying, and I think that we're going to see that with Pyro. So
yeah,
the next six to 12 months are going to be a really incredible time here.
I think you're right. I think there every single day, obviously because I like teaching people how to PvP, I get a lot of new people to Star Citizen coming to my channel, and I'm really excited for those people because I think now is probably one of the most exciting times to get into Star Citizen, because we're not like I think back to when I jumped in 2014, and I think if I knew that I would be sat here in 2020 and the game still hadn't come out yet, there was no way I would have backed. It has been a long, arduous journey, but I have loved watching. Like, I've watched every single video that CIG has ever brought out. I follow so many Star Citizen streamers. I watch so many Star Citizen YouTube videos, and it has been a great journey. But that said, we're at a point now where the people who are jumping in right now, the end is already in sight. It feels kind of like we're on the final sprint now, but you're still here early enough to witness some of the development.
I think that's a very good point. I think that we're finally at the beginning of building the universe.
Yeah, I think you're right.
This year, and it's been an incredible journey. I didn't back until late 2015, and didn't really get neck deep into it until 2016. And to see the incredible change from then to now, and there are people that say it's going too slow. We need more this, more that, and faster. It's like they've forgotten 2.6. and the entire 2.x development, where we didn't have any moons, we didn't have any planets. All we had was Olisar, Korea Station, Kovalek Station, and the Tessa Bannister mission.
I miss Tessa.
Yeah, but we all miss Tessa. But we had so little for so long, and now we're seeing so much coming in. It's been a long journey, and this is a great time to come in. But people coming in now don't have that experience of how much more we're getting from how much we had. But then when you look ahead, a lot of the people that are coming down, I don't know how much you ask the new backers, Moist Noodle. I've started asking a lot of people here recently, like, how much do you know about the project? How much do you know about what Star Citizen is going to be? Have you even seen the star map? Do you know about the 100 stars? Do you know about the lore behind all things? And by and large, a lot of people haven't even seen the star map. All they've seen are some YouTube videos of some cool spaceships and planets, and they jump in. And it's like, oh, it's another $45 game. I'll buy this. It looks like fun. And they have no idea of the scope and breadth and depth of what's coming over the next 5 to 10 years.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think a lot of people as well don't realize that a large chunk of what CIG have been working towards are developer tools that will allow the development teams to build the universe. If you pay attention to the tools that they use for building planets, like I remember like a year ago, I remember there was a Reddit post where people were talking about the moons, and somebody made a post basically and the planets, and somebody made this post basically saying, lol, CIG reckon they'll have 100 star systems out at launch. Now, don't get me wrong, I don't necessarily expect them to have 100 star systems out by launch, but the general tone was, that
it's never going to happen.
It'll never happen. And now, if you pay attention to the new planetary tech and the videos of like the tools that they use,
painting planets,
they can knock out a moon in like a day.
At the most basic level, in 1 hour, they can have so much developed, and like they're saying, where it took 3 people to 2 months to build a couple of moons, now 1 person can build 2 moons in a few weeks. And that's just at the very beginning of this new tool. That a lot of people don't understand that they started in 2012 with 6 people and a dream. And
I remember that video.
Yeah, and the people who don't understand where it came from, they didn't have a company, they had a dream, and it took them 3 years to build a company that could build the dream. And then in 2015, everything changed with the Planet Tech. And then from 2015 to 2019, they had to start building the tools and the company. And I was saying earlier, it's like they literally have added 100 people to the company almost every year. That's incredible growth for any company, just massive. Just establishing that anybody who's worked in a big company or even a medium-sized company, knowing how difficult it is to onboard new people and division,
and just to train them and bring them up to spec, with how their internal systems work.
Yeah, and that is a mind-boggling amount of growth from an organizational and management standpoint, and it's a testament to the directors' capabilities that they haven't just imploded and fallen and just blown apart at that speed of growth, which is insane. And so the past 2 to 3 years, they've been building those tools. It's like I started to say, it's like if you were to build Photoshop from scratch. Okay, how long would that take to build a software to have all these tools to build planets from scratch at this level of detail? It's taken them 3 years to build that, and now we have it. And now as they start filling in the design elements, that's gonna the speed of development over the next 2 years is going to be mind-blowing.
I have to bring up what iCat has just mentioned in chat, and it was something that I was going to mention.
It's funny,
iCat is completely right. We weren't supposed to have fully explorable interplanetary bodies. You know, going down to a landing zone, it was going to be, you know, essentially an animated loading screen. You know, they would have a, it would make it look like you were flying down a flight tunnel to the city. You know, but it would take over.
I'd like to thank a couple people in the chat real quick. I'd spilled my coffee everywhere, and a couple people noticed and have been laughing at me.
I'm laughing at you, Cobra. I'm laughing at you right now.
And Icorn just donated $20 for a new cloth for the future spillage. So I guess he took notice to this cloth right here. Now, this is like a shop cloth. This is
only drinking coffee?
This
Friday.
is... You know, this is just trash. You know, and my wife wouldn't let me clean up coffee with it, one of her nice rags. But
Is your phone okay?
And then Kathy in the chat there was disgusted that I also wiped the coffee off of my phone with this rag. So I went ahead and rubbed it in a little bit and did it again for Kathy. And then Guardian Eagle super chatted to $1.99 saying, how is it going, Cobra? It's going good, Guardian Eagle. Thank you so much. I'm sorry for the people that have subscribed and donated during... I didn't want to interrupt this amazing conversation and dialogue that was going on at the time. But thank you guys.
You need a new rag, buddy.
I know.
It's like,
Cobra, you should see his old chair.
Cobra, do you understand why your viewers want to kill you all the time?
Why? Because of my rags?
Yeah. You keep rubbing things into them, you know? Kathy.
I see. Yeah.
Well, what I was going to say was I was going to bring up two things. One was I was going to say about the fact that, we weren't supposed to have explorable planets. We were supposed to have it very much like Destiny, where you fly down to these landing zones. And at the end of the day, the fact is also CIG have gone through and made all these they've redone all the moons, and in, what was it, a month, 2 months or something like that? Or
in 2 months, they rebuilt every single planet and 3 planets and 11 moons in 2 months.
Do you know the story as to how we got to the point of change, like how CIG's attitude changed when it came to building actual planets?
They realized I could do it?
No, essentially what happened was CIG in Frankfurt, they hired a load of people from Crytek, so people who worked on the actual engines. And one of the guys from Crytek, in his spare time, built into the engine a demo of him flying seamlessly from space onto a planet and running around the planet, and showed it to Chris. And Chris was so blown away by this that was the moment where he was like, "Oh shit, we can do this."
And everything changed at that.
Everything changed,
and this is just a side project. The incredible luck that CIG had to acquire that team in Frankfurt. They literally started an office in Frankfurt because of this team from Crytek that was leaving, and it's like, we'll hire you, we'll open an office in Frankfurt just to have you. And these guys rebuilt the CryEngine and to be able to do things it was never designed to do. And even before the planetary tech, a lot of people may not be aware of the 64-bit floating point processing that they converted the engine to, so that we can have seamless millimeter scale to millions of kilometers with no loading screens.
It's just
that is pretty
all
innovative.
internally developed.
Vega's joining the call. Vega, how are you?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm doing
good. Hello, Vega.
Hi, Vega.
Hey, Vega.
Hey, guys.
Good evening. This is special.
Yeah.
Special. And one note's funny. It all happened because Cobra just went into a chat and went, Vega, call in for a minute.
You should have been here from the beginning.
I'm sorry.
Did you see him spill his coffee on his phone?
I did see that.
Yeah, it went everywhere. My pants are drenched right now. I'm kind of cold. It was hot at first, but then it got really cold now.
Yeah,
why did you bring me down such a end of the world Walking Dead rag for everyone to make fun of me? Look at this thing. Why did you do that? I'm on stream. You couldn't give me one of the nice ones?
No.
Okay. All right. Well, how you doing, Vega?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm doing good. See, Vega comes from a very PvP background as well. She loves PvP. She used to. I'm going to explain what it is. I know you guys don't know, and whenever it comes out of my mouth, an instant reaction is, what? Because it was a small underground culture within a game that was, I would say, what would you say, about 10,000 people?
Yeah, I would say that.
It's around 10,000 people. And what we used to do is we were in a pilot community in a game, Grand Theft Auto 4. Now, if you remember how difficult those helicopters were to fly.
I remember those days.
Yeah, it used real physics, or close to real physics, to fly those. So any normal player, any person who doesn't normally pick up a helicopter, they didn't know how to use it right. And they would crash, they would missile spam you, they didn't know how to orbit, they didn't know how to they didn't know how to control the helicopter in a surgical way to take out somebody else who was trained, right?
I once knew this guy in GTA 5 who flew nothing but the buzzard with the minigun.
Yep, that's what we did in 4 is the buzzards with the miniguns, and you would practice for a good 4 months and get really good. And you'd have to practice, otherwise you were not going to be good. And you'd have to dogfight people to practice. And so when you came across somebody else who was good, then it became a challenge. Hey, let's dogfight. 1st to 10 wins. And so it became that type of gameplay for me and her for, 4 or 5 years? And,
yeah, it was a while.
And we did that very competitively, talking smack all over YouTube, recording people, uploading their losses on YouTube. We did it all.
Yep.
We did all of it. And
I used to do that too with GTA 5.
Really? See, what they did in GTA 5 is they ruined the mechanics of the buzzard.
Well, I mean, we ever a military clan kind of thing, and clan against clan.
Yeah.
Those could go on for hours of fighting.
So what they did with what they did with GTA 5 is they made it easier to fly but harder to aim with, because they added that turbulence in it even after you got your skill level all the way up. So they kind of took the power out of what we used to do, because we were considered trolls. Because when we got bored, we would spawn kill people until everybody left the lobby. If there were people
Just
there
a
to
little
fight,
bit.
if there were other pilots there to fight, like our clan, we were called Static Sky. And if there were other clans there to fight, we left everybody on the ground alone. But after they would leave, or we all just got bored dogfighting each other, it was game on. We would just murder people, and people would get so mad, and so a lot of people even wrote Rockstar. You can go online and find the articles about the pilots in GTA 4, and they seemed like these legal things that they would write, like they wanted to sue us or something, or sue Rockstar because of us. So they changed it in GTA 5 when we couldn't do it anymore. But anyways, she was a good pilot back then, and she probably would be still today. So she comes from a big PvP background.
I also piloted, but it was jets. Not the overpowered one.
Oh yeah.
But the newer ones they had, I usually flew this A-10 Warthog thing.
So where do you stand so far in Star Citizen, Vega? I mean, you haven't really been involved in a whole lot of PvP, but let's say you were, and somebody just came up to you and killed you on sight. How would you feel about that?
I would be annoyed, but I mean, that's part of the game.
Right. Okay. All right. Well, thank you very much for coming on the show. You can leave. I just wanted you to come on and say hi. And that's not code for get out of here. I'd rather you
Just
stay.
remember, we know how evil she can be. We saw her at the stream.
Oh yeah.
She is evil. Yes.
I'm not evil.
I love the ending of the one where you killed Cobra. It was so sweet, and it was just like, ah, I love that.
Thank you.
That was so great.
I don't think I've actually seen that video. I'll have to go back and find it. I think I missed that one.
Oh, it's one of the best videos I ever edited. To be honest
100%.
and transparent, the only part that's scripted is the very end where we both go, I'm sorry too.
I love that.
That was the only part that was scripted. She literally, because I said to her, I said, I want you to get me back, but I don't want to tell you, I don't want you to tell me what day or when it's coming or how you're going to do it. I didn't know she was going to do it the next time we played together.
I mean, you should have expected it.
Like,
I don't want to forget.
Exactly.
Yeah, that was definitely a good episode.
Thank you,
She
buddy.
planned it out
Thank
so
you.
well too.
I know.
Really immersive.
A mock art plan.
And I gotta say that the editing and the scoring of that, the music, it was phenomenal. It's definitely probably my favorite of all of your videos, and
Thank
I
you.
love all.
I've been afraid
I
to
agree,
do that
actually.
with my videos with Star Citizen because I used to do a show called Revenge of the Survivor for No Man's Sky, and it was highly scored, heavily edited, to the point where you would think it was almost like it was trying to be a machinima, but it wasn't. It was just normal gameplay, but so edited that it literally told a story. And not every time I played was a video worthy of editing. Like sometimes nothing happened, right? So something had to have happened in that episode to be able to edit it and upload it and call it a Revenge of the Survivor episode. And the same thing is going on with Star Citizen. And so that's what you see with that video is me doing the whole Revenge of the Survivor editing to that.
Luckily, there's many things we do.
Yeah.
Thanks to Adam, of course.
You're welcome. I make things interesting, all right?
Monday, you're going to see Adam's video come out and our pirating stuff. I'm going to upload
that's
that
great.
on Monday. I was going to do it on Wednesday, but I can't wait. It's going to be Monday.
I can't wait either.
But I am, if you want to see it early, Adam, I'm going to have it up on Patreon tomorrow, and I'll
Sick.
I'll put it in the VIP content room, so that way, because it's a 2-hour. I showed step by step how I edited the video from beginning to end, and I put the original right in the beginning. So if you don't want to watch how I made it, you can just watch the beginning part. But it'll be up there tomorrow.
You made a whole movie. You didn't just make a video, Cobra. You made a 2-hour-long That Guy Adam Turns Evil movie.
No, it's a short video.
Film.
It's a short
Feature film.
right, but it's the whole behind the scenes how I edited it, and how I chose the music, where I put the music, how I did the edits and cuts and transitions, stuff like that. So you don't have to watch the whole thing. The video portion's right in front.
All right, cool. Well, thank you.
Icorn says, I love the Saturday morning 80s, 90s cartoon intros for some of your videos. Thank you, buddy. Yeah, anything that's Cobra Force related is getting that Thundercats intro. Because
I love that. That intro is awesome.
Thanks, man. Yeah, the intro is actually a cover that someone did of Thundercats. So it's an original cover. But we're getting close to time to jump into the game. Let me check my Discord to see if there was anybody else that wanted to get on the call. And if not, then I'm going to jump in the game. Oh my god, Stuffenberg, is that a picture of your own ship?
Yes. That is.
Holy crap.
I've got more. I'm still taking more of it.
You want to invite us in?
I threw
We're
some
gonna-
screenshots in later, too.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, we're going to be going over to Twitch to play the game. So let me give you the link to that. Also, I want to give you the link to Jerron's stuff one more time and Moist Noodle one more time. Okay, so...
Sorry, I just spammed you through more pictures.
Okay.
That's it for now.
Yeah, I'm going to take a look at him here in just a second.
Don't worry about it. Take your time.
I'm going to throw him up on the big screen here because that can't be missed. That's amazing.
Yeah, I was going to say, you want to send
one
it
of
to me? I'll
mine.
look at it.
All right, so here is where we're going to be playing the game for the next few hours. If you would like to join, I'm not a snobby YouTuber. I created the Twitch channel just so that way I could play with people.
I still don't know how you can stand smoking inside. You must have good ventilation.
It's called being stuck down in a basement. But thank you so much. Okay, so let me get the links for Jerron and Moist Noodle one more time. I'm getting so confused on where I'm supposed to go to get everything.
Also, I
Stuff
just
you wanna send
DM'd
those
you a
photos
quick
to me,
photo,
right?
too.
Okay. And here's Jerron's links. I say your name wrong, don't I?
Joran.
Joran. Okay, Joran.
Jerron.
Okay.
I see the word Ron in your name, and my real name is Ron. No, it's Ron. Man, I'm dyslexic.
You don't even know your own name?
It all blends together.
Forget it. Forget I said anything at all. I didn't say nothing.
It's funny. I actually, when a friend of mine got me into WoW like 6 years ago, and I was trying to come up with some kind of name because there's like millions and millions of every name is taken, and so I was looking around for like Greek mythology or Norse mythology, and I was looking down the whole list of Norse mythological names, and it's like I saw Joran. It's like, oh, I kind of like that. Tried it. It's like, oh, it's available and for WoW. That's great. And I've used it ever since. And then I found out recently that it's actually a female Norwegian name, and like it's really widespread.
That's hilarious, dude.
So does that mean that you're playing as a female character in the game now? Or?
I play as myself. I am always myself. I am myself in whatever I am in.
That is Moist Noodle's information there, his Twitch and his Twitter account. Please follow these two guys. They're amazing. They deserve all the love and attention that they can get. I know a lot of people will watch this tomorrow, and so if you are watching this tomorrow and you hear what I'm saying, you could see the live chat. The links are always going to be there. Just if you're not looking at the live chat, click the live chat button and then look for the links that I'm posting there. And please.
The Yacht Club is worth a follow. The Wednesday night show that I do with three other guys, we review the week's news and events, is a lot of fun.
Oh, that's you guys.
Yes.
Oh, I've heard about you.
The Yacht Club. It's a lot of fun. It's your weekly bar citizen where we all hang out on stream and have a few drinks and talk about spaceships and stuff going on in the verse.
Jaron, I really want to join you somehow, man.
Hey, one of these days, if you get a Saturday or a Wednesday off, I think we'll have to.
Never let Adam on.
It's not. I'm telling you right now, it's going to be at least a year before I get another Wednesday off.
Oh man, that's rough. One of these days.
Yeah, hopefully. Okay, and again, one more time, my Twitch, if you guys really want to join in with us and get involved in the shenanigans, because I guarantee you we're going to get in trouble. Moist Noodle is on to us, so hopefully he'll pay us a visit once or twice.
No comment.
No comment.
Emergent gameplay.
Follow us over there. I'm going to stream right now over on Twitch. There's going to be maybe a 10-minute delay. I'm going to stay on call here, and then just message me, and we'll just add you to a party. We're going to do a big party up before we get in. And as always, thank you guys. Thank you, Moist Noodle, for coming on the show, man. I appreciate it.
No problem, man. Anytime.
And Joran, you too, man. Thank you so much, buddy.
Thanks, man. I've been looking forward to being on and chatting with you again. This was a really good conversation with Moist Noodle, and having somebody who's very into the PvP side of things, but has a very, I'd say, enlightened view of it. And I represent the Care Bear side of the community and try to help them understand the other side.
Can I ask you a question?
It was great.
Do they like being called Care Bears?
Because
I would take offense to that.
Some don't like to be called Care Bears. Some because they don't understand it. A lot of them actually are proud of it because most of my people in the Jump Club of I manage two different communities. So there's the Jump Club, and they're often confused. The Jump Club are only owners of the 890 Jump, so they have spent from $600 to $1,000 for a luxury space yacht that, by most people's perceptions, has very little purpose in game. But for the people who know and love this ship, this is an experience of living a life in space of just pure enjoyment and touring and doing various things that have nothing to do with combat. Mm-hmm. It's an entirely different view of the universe and what they want to do, and a lot of them have a lot of other ships. And the average spend on the Jump Club is between $5,000 and $10,000, and we have lots of Legatus, double Legatus. Legatus is $25,000. So, and they have massive fleets, and they own javelins, and they just, it's mind blowing what these guys have, but they really love this view of just really a relaxed, enjoying life and of touring the verse, and they're proud of being Care Bears. Like they don't want to get involved in the combat side of things, except sometimes. And like me, my primary account, once the game goes live in a few years, I don't want to get involved in any kind of combat. I'm not going to go anywhere dangerous. I'm going to be only in safe space. But I have an alt account, and that's where I'm not going to do unlawful things, but I want to occasionally engage in combat. I want to be in these massive fleet battles with javelins and idrises and all this stuff going on, and have these huge Star Wars fleet battles. And like, who doesn't want to be involved in that sometimes, right?
Right.
So, you know, the Care Bear side, I'm trying to help them find the enlightenment that I found as an enlightened Care Bear. It's like, okay, you know, it's a dangerous verse and it's a small verse. You have to be cognizant of the fact that there's a lot of combat out there. Don't be stupid, and sometimes you're just going to lose your cargo, and you know, don't get too upset about it. And like Moist Noodle was saying, a lot of times they're really just trying to instigate an emergent combat gameplay. It's like, come at me, bro.
Right, exactly,
right?
Yeah. Age the Mage. No, I don't do the live gameplay on YouTube normally, because a lot of the people tell me they don't want to see it on the channel. And so I created the Twitch so that way I could do live gameplay and play with friends. Because it could be chaotic, the live gameplay. But if there's anything exciting that ever does happen that I really want you guys to see, I bring it over to YouTube as an edited video. You're going to see one of those on Monday. And you're missing out on a lot of really great memories that it's sometimes we're sitting in a menu doing a party up for 30 to 40 minutes sometimes, or sometimes we're going back to the menu screen. We're switching servers. We're going back. We got 30K. We're going back. We're waiting, right? So that, I just don't want that kind of clutter of waiting and menus on the YouTube channel. So I try to bring those exciting moments that happen over to YouTube as an edited video. So that's why I do it on Twitch. So yeah, I'm going to be over there. And anybody have any final words before we get off of here?
Yeah, I just wanted to say the Care Bears getting upset over being called Care Bears is proof that they are Care Bears.
I recognize that term from Elite Dangerous too.
It was also in EVE Online.
Okay, all right. Well, we're going to go ahead and go on over to Twitch. There's going to be a 10-minute downtime to where we'll be live in 10 minutes. So I'll see you guys over there. As always, thank you so much for coming out to the show. I do appreciate it. If you watch this video on the next day and you didn't see it live, let me know in the comment section that you watched it the next day. I'd like to see how many people, because sometimes the numbers are weird. I'll wake up, it'll be like 500 views when we end the stream, and then I'll wake up and it's got 2,000 views. So I'm really curious, if you're watching it the next day, do I stream at a bad time? And if I do, what would be a better time for you to stream? So let me know all that stuff down in the comment section below, and I will see you guys over on Twitch. Thank you, guys. Thank you for all the donations, support, the likes, and the attention, and your just spending time with you, your company. Thank you, buddy. And thank you, guys. Thank you, buddy. Jeez.
We're all your buddies.
Well, I seen iCat. He put the Twitch link there, and I was meaning to thank him and during me thanking everybody else. I think I'm glitching. All right, I'm gonna get out of here. Bye, everybody. I'll see you over on Twitch.
I think I need another beer.
All right.